Here is my recommendation on how to introduce students to DE boards for the first time. You have two options basically to do this. One, if you haven't already, you can create a class of students, which I've already done. So let's say you have a class of students already created in DE. What you would do is hover over Classroom Manager, and you would scroll down to where it says My Students. When you click on this, it'll bring up a list of your students. I have many different grade levels, but you would only have one. And then here you would find one of your students, and next to their name is the option to log in as student. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as a fifth grader for now because I already assigned them a board to show you what it looks like. So if you have a class created, you can go in this way and log in as a student, and the page comes up, and this is what you want to show kids. This is how their DE page is going to look, and this is how they will navigate to find the board that we have assigned them. So once you're on this page, you can go ahead and click on assignments, and the kids are going to need to learn how to do this. And once they click on assignments, especially for the upper grades, one of the skills they're going to need to learn is how to navigate their student center, which is what this area is called. Older students may have lots of assignments, and it might even go on to multiple pages. There are a few tips in sorting. One, they can sort by teacher. If they know who assigned the board, they could pick the correct teacher, or they could click on the calendar button at the top right, and this shows them the most current calendar, and here is the board that we have assigned. But let's go back to the list view, and you can see here this student has many different boards assigned to him from Mr. Schultz over the summer. My board here at the bottom was assigned by me, and it's called the water cycle. One tip that makes it easier for students when they're working on the computer or in the computer lab, somewhere on the board or near the computer is you could display the title of the board or the teacher who assigned it to them, so it's easier for them to sort through all these different boards. So once you find the board and the student finds the board, this is how you can explain how a DE board works. When they open it up, a lot of times, or all the time, there should be a title of the board at the top, and depending on the grade level or the function of the board, there's questions at the top, or sometimes directions. Here we have 3 questions that a fifth grader needs to answer, and as they start to scroll down, the whole board is scrolling down. There is no left or right. Most boards are going to be divided into sections. In this case, I created this board. It's divided into about 3 sections. It starts with the parts of the water cycle. Uh, if it's a board that I have created, or I recommend you doing this on your own board, give the kids directions. Teach the students that they need to read these little pieces of text. They're either directions telling them what to do or tips and hints. In this one, it's telling them to use these 3 assets to help them answer question 1. Now, it's never a good idea to tell students they have to use every single asset on the board. That's just not going to it's not going to happen. This is where students have a choice. Now, you as the classroom teacher, when you know your students, if you have a group of students who are struggling readers, you could have them only watch the video. Or if you have a group of kids who are more advanced, you can require them to read articles. So you can preview the boards ahead of time, or if you create them, you know what's on there, and you can tell them what to do. It's important that they keep scrolling down and they don't stop where they feel like it. They have to keep moving down again. Encourage students to read all text on the page. Um, and you just keep going down. There are videos, there are glossary terms. If the students are younger or if they're new to DE, they may not know what each asset is. In that case, you could click on a glossary term and show the students exactly what a glossary term is. In a glossary term, it's important that they view the animation, but it's also important that they check out the definition tab and the video tab, and if there is a image tab, which all of these are very, very useful. You can also show them how to launch a video and how to maximize and minimize a video, because seeing it in a small screen isn't gonna cut it. And they scroll down, and sometimes, depending on the video, I include hyperlinks. In this case, I did. At the bottom, I asked the students, are you done? And if they are, they're supposed to click on this link, which takes them out to a Study Jams video, which they can play here. It's really important that students follow directions on the board and take it one section at a time, and their goal is not to just scroll down to the bottom and call it done. If you have not already created a class in DE, the only way you're going to be able to show students a preview of DE board ahead of time is if you have a student log in. In that case, you would have to have a student come to your teacher computer and log in for you, and then you could go ahead and navigate through. It's really important to show the students how to get into their DE center, their DE boards, and their student center. If you have time, you can point out other features on DE. They have resource centers, a blog, games, and there's always some articles to read. This is obviously if you have time to show them that. But go through and walk them through how to get to their boards and how to actually operate and scroll through a board.